It was a Tuesday, the kind of quiet, gray day that feels like it's holding its breath, waiting for trouble. The air was heavy, the cul-de-sac silent, as if the world knew something was about to break. I, Tom Harper, sat on my porch swing, gripping a chipped mug that read, "Best Dad," watching the street. This suburban stillness fooled most people into thinking it was safe. But I'd lived here too long to buy that lie. Safety was just a story we told ourselves between disasters. Then I heard it, the faint squeak of brakes. A hospice van pulled into my driveway, its white exterior gleaming like it didn't want to be noticed. The nurse, Sarah, stepped out, her face blank, no smile today. She opened the back doors, and there was my wife, Clara, lying on a gurney. Clara, who'd climbed mountains with a sprained ankle just for the view, who sang off-key while folding laundry, who laughed until tears streamed down her face. Now, after a brainstem stroke 3 weeks ago, she couldn't move a muscle. Only her eyes still spoke, blinking our secret code, twice for "I'm okay," 3 times for distress, once for a smile. Sarah and I wheeled Clara toward the ramp our neighbor Dave had built. We turned our living room into a hospital suite, cleared out the couch, hung blackout curtains, and angled her bed to face the bird feeders. Our grandson, Liam, had painted our mailbox neon green with robots on it, a tacky thing that made Clara blink once, her way of smiling. Every inch mattered now. Every moment was sacred. Then I noticed it, a black SUV idling across the street, no plates, windows tinted. It didn't belong. Our gated cul-de-sac wasn't a place people stumbled into. 2 men stepped out, clipboards in hand, one in a cheap blue polo with a laminated badge dangling like a toy, the other chewing gum with a smirk that screamed trouble. They scanned our house like it personally offended them. "You can't have a hospital bed in public view," the badge guy barked, pointing at Clara. "It's a community aesthetic violation." Code 149, medical eyesore. The gumchewer grinned, snapping a photo of Clara's bed. My fists clenched. These weren't HOA. Their badges looked like they were printed in someone's basement. Real HOA had ID numbers, registered vehicles. These guys were fakes, performing a script. "She's paralyzed," Sarah said, stepping forward. "This is her home." "Keep her inside then, sweetheart," the gumchewer sneered. Clara's breathing monitor beeped twice, sharp and panicked. Her eyes darted wild. 3 blinks, distress. I stepped forward. "You're not HOA. You're not cops. You're trespassing." The badge guy smirked. "We're external enforcement officers. You'll get the contract in the mail." Before I could respond, a low growl rumbled down the street, a Harley-Davidson, chrome gleaming, leather flapping. The men turned, too slowly. The bike roared to a stop, and there he was, Jake, Clara's brother. Jake hadn't been around in months, not since his parole. Tattoos peeked from his flannel sleeves, scars on his knuckles whispering of fights nobody won. He took off his helmet, his eyes locking on Clara, then me, then them. His smile wasn't friendly, it was a warning. Clara blinked once, calm for the first time in hours. She knew that smile. Jake didn't waste words. He walked to Clara's bed, stood like a guard, and pulled out his phone, recording. "Repeat that medical eyesore line," he said, voice deadly. "Let's go viral." The gumchewer's grin faded. The badge guy stepped forward. "You're interfering with HOA business." "No," Jake said, closing the distance. "You're harassing a paralyzed woman. Keep talking, and you'll need a hospital bed yourself." The men laughed, with nervous hiccups. Jake didn't. He unlatched Clara's bed, lifted the rear like it weighed nothing, and rolled it down the ramp, straight into the street. Neighbors gasped, phones out, filming. "Is this public enough?" Jake shouted. "She's not on private property now. Deal with it." The gumchewer looked around, desperate for backup, But the neighborhood was watching, half behind curtains, half behind screens. No one helped the fakes. You escalated this, Jake snapped. You don't talk to her. You don't point at her. You don't take her picture. He stepped closer, ice cold. Prove you've got authority, or I'll treat you like you dragged her out here. The badge guy lowered his clipboard, muttering about calming down. Clara blinked once, slowly, certain. Jake glanced at her, and his smile turned dangerous. The gumshoer stepped forward, voice shaky. Move her. You're blocking traffic. There's no traffic, I said. Unless you count the ambulance you'll need. Neighbors chuckled. A woman shouted. I called the cops. The fakes flinched. Jake didn't. He tapped the badge guy's plastic laminate. This ain't power. It's garbage, and everyone knows it. Then it turned ugly. The gumshoer's smirk vanished. He pulled a taser from his jacket, prongs humming. Back off, he barked. You're threatening an officer. Jake stepped forward, palms open but not peaceful. You're a Halloween costume with a clipboard. Gasps echoed. Phones recorded. The badge guy moved, circling Clara's bed while Jake eyed the taser. He leaned in, whispered something to Clara. Her face twisted, eyes fluttering in panic. That was it. Jake lunged. In a blur, he grabbed the taser guy, lifted him, spun him, and slammed him onto the driveway. The crack of concrete silenced the street. The taser skidded under a hose reel, the clipboard spinning like a broken toy. The badge guy bolted, but Jake was faster. He spun Clara's bed, wheels screeching, and pushed it like a battering ram. The steel rails caught the man's knees. He toppled, hitting the curb, sunglasses flying. Jake pinned him with the bed's wheels, pressing his thighs to the sidewalk. The man screamed, raw and desperate. You picked the wrong neighborhood, Jake said, his voice calm. You picked the wrong woman. Clara's monitor beeped steadily. She looked peaceful, safe. A tear rolled down her cheek. I knelt, wiping it away. You're okay now, I whispered. He's here. The pinned man spat. This is assault. You'll go to jail. Jake leaned in. Funny. You called her an eyesore. She's got rights too. A kid across the street streamed it live. They tried to evict a paralyzed woman, his sister shouted into her phone. It's real. Sirens wailed close now. 3 police cruisers roared in, lights flashing. Officers leapt out, guns drawn. Hands up. Back away. Jake raised his arms, calm. The lead cop holstered his gun, scanning the scene. What the hell happened? Mrs. Larson, a 73-year-old HOA rebel, stepped forward. They tried to evict a dying woman. He stopped them. Voices piled on. They called her an eyesore. I got it on video. They're not real cops. A teen waved her phone. Facebook lives at 40K views. An officer checked the badge guy's laminate, muttering. These guys again. He turned to me. They've been scamming neighborhoods, targeting the vulnerable. He cuffed the gumshoer, reading charges, trespassing, harassment, impersonating officials, elder abuse. Anything else? He asked. Intimidation, I said. Coercion, Mrs. Larson added. The cop smirked, pulling the badge guy up. You boys look real stupid now. He knelt by Clara. You okay, ma'am? She blinked twice. He nodded, then looked at Jake. She's lucky to have you. A detective approached me. Are you the homeowner? I nodded. You want to press charges? Clara's eyes locked on the cuffed men. I turned back. Yes. The detective didn't hesitate. Done. The video exploded online, Facebook, Reddit, TikTok. CNN called it unexpected heroes. Fox said street justice. The headline that stuck. From felon to protector, man uses hospital bed to stop fake cops. They mispronounced Jake's name, called him Jack once. He didn't care. 2 days later, I showed him a news clip. He shrugged, spooning soup for Clara. She doesn't care about their headlines. Jake stayed 3 nights, sleeping in our recliner, whispering memories to Clara at 2 a.m. Remember Lake Willow? You cried over that fish you didn't catch. She blinked, a slow memory. He cooked eggs, burned toast, and fed her with hands once shaky from withdrawal, now steady. A journalist came, nervous. Your video's at 8 million views, she said. Jake didn't blink. I wasn't making content. I moved first. He left at dawn, heading to a job in Reno. He handed me a steel plaque. This bed defended more than a life. It saved dignity. Jake. Clara blinked once when I showed her, then 3 times, a laugh, her first since the stroke. This wasn't just justice. It was restoration, love arriving right when it was needed most. What do you think? Was Jake's response justice or vengeance? Should he have stopped at words, or was his force justified? Share your thoughts below, and let's debate. How far would you go to protect someone you love? Hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications to join the conversation.